Welcome back, everybody, to a Jewish Inspiration short and sweet segment. We're going to discuss the month of Nissan. Today is Rosh Chodesh Nissan. It's Thursday, the 23rd of March, and it is the first day of the month of Nissan. What a special day it is. Today is a really fabulous day. And it's a really incredible month. Aside from the fact that it's my birthday this month, on the 6th day of Nissan, was when Hashem gave me my soul into my body. He met these two opposites, the soul and the body. The month of Nisan is the first month in the Jewish calendar, the seventh month from Rosh Hashanah, and it is usually in the March-April time of year in the Gregorian calendar. The name Nisan, the Torah calls it Chodesh HaAviv, the month of spring, as it marks the beginning of the spring months. Nisan is one of the few months mentioned in the Torah by name, ensuring that Nisan remains in spring. Ensuring that Nisan remains in spring forms the backbone of the entire intricate Jewish calendar, including the leap year, making sure that Nisan is always in the springtime. The word Nisan comes from the word Nes, which means miracle, making Nisan a month of miracles. There are 30 days in the month of Nisan. The month shall be for you the first of the months. God tells this to Moshe. Curiously, it is one of 4 heads of the year listed in the Talmud, one of which is the first of Tishrei, known universally as Rosh Hashanah, the head of the year. The zodiac for this month, the sign for this month, for the month of Nisan, is a ram or sheep, Aries, or Taleh in Hebrew. The month of Nisan is linked to the Hebrew word of Nes, like we mentioned, meaning miracles, and this is seen by the nature of the month. This is seen to be the nature of the month. Aries belongs to the element of fire. The Ari HaKadosh, the Arizal, says this element represents creativity. Just as when you stare at the fire, you can see how it creates endless forms, how it creates endless forms and shapes without stopping. The 3 zodiac signs of the spring are related to the fire element, and Aries in particular is very creative and not boring. Maybe I'm not. Yeah, I'm not so boring.
You're brave and strong.
Aries belongs to the group of the fire sign, like we mentioned, which arrives in springtime, and fire is its element anyway, signifying super fire. That explains the personal power and renewable energies of Aries. When Nisan begins, it allows each and every one of us to connect with this rejuvenating force. This is also the secret of Passover being celebrated in the middle of the month of Nisan. The Exodus, breaking out of bondage and slavery, the chains of the past, and now going into freedom and renewal. We're a new people. We're a new nation. That is the nature of this month. So some of the events that go on in this month, Nisan is a time of redemption. The Jewish people, after 210 years of slavery, were redeemed in the month of Nisan. And King David writes, he takes his prisoners out at the most opportune time. Hashem takes us out at the greatest time. When is that? The month of Nisan. Why? So the Midrash says that Moshe told the people, see the loving kindness that Hashem bestowed upon you, that he took you out in the month in which it is suitable to go out, where there is neither heat nor cold nor rain. Nisan is a beautiful month. Now, interesting that the Midrash tells us as well that just like our redemption came in the month of Nisan, our future redemption will also come in the month of Nisan. So we anticipate Mashiach coming today. It is a very perfect day for Mashiach to come. And if he doesn't come today, sadly, we're going to have to wait another day for him to come tomorrow. But Nisan is the month in which Mashiach will come. We celebrate Pesach during the month of Nisan, the Exodus, the anniversary of our Exodus, beginning on the 15th of Nisan. Likewise, likely the most widely celebrated Jewish holiday. Passover is observed with a Seder where we eat matzah, drink 4 cups of wine, eat bitter herbs, and recount the miraculous story of our redemption from Egypt. Some of the interesting facts in the month of Nisan is firstly the mitzvah to recite a blessing on fruit trees. Upon seeing a budding fruit tree during the month of Nisan, we recite a special bracha, blessed are you, Hashem, our God, King of the universe, who has made nothing lacking in his world and created it in it goodly creatures and goodly trees to give mankind pleasure. It's an amazing blessing. Why did God create the world? To give mankind pleasure. Some people visit botanical gardens during this time so as to avail themselves of an opportunity to observe this beautiful mitzvah. It was taught. Rabbi Lezer said, the world was created in Tishrei. Rabbi Yeshua said, this is the Talmud of Rosh Hashanah, 10b, the world was created in Nisan. So was it created in Tishrei, on Rosh Hashanah, or was it created in Nisan? Sages tell us, Hashem decided to create the world in Tishrei. What is the mazel, the astrological sign of Tishrei? It's scales, which symbolizes an atmosphere of din, of judgment, which prevails during that month. The world could never survive a divine scrutiny So the actual creation was postponed until Nisan, a month in which mercy prevails. Now, the Talmud also says that 10 crowns were taken by Nisan, by this day, the first day of Nisan. 10 things. The first day of Nisan was the first day of creation. The first day of Nisan, the princes brought their first offerings. The first day of Nisan, the tribe, the Aaronic priesthood was put into effect. The first day of the temple sacrifices was the first day of Nisan. The first day of Nisan also was the first time the fire descended from heaven onto the altar. The first day of Nisan was the first time the sacred foods were eaten in the tabernacle. The first day of Nisan was the first time the divine presence rested amidst the people. And the first day of Nisan was the first time the priests conferred the priestly blessing on the people. And the first day of Nisan was the first time it was forbidden to sacrifice to God on ad hoc altars. We know that offerings were brought by Cain and Abel, by Abraham, all throughout the generations till this point. Till this point, they were allowed to bring on different altars. From the first day of Nisan, they were no longer allowed to bring. So we cannot make an altar here in our torch center and bring an offering to Hashem. That is inappropriate. And also on the first day of Nisan, it was the first month of the new year. So there are 10 crowns that were given to the first day of Nisan. What a special day. That's today. Additionally, I was actually thinking to release this podcast tomorrow, but I'm going to release it today so that our listeners can enjoy and connect with this day on the day that it actually is. Another thing is that during the month of Nisan, we do not recite Tachnun. We learned this previously in our Living Jewishly podcast, where we discussed the laws of Erev Pesach. During the month of Nisan, we do not recite Tachnun. Why? The Shlach Kadosh tells us, because the entire month is a month of holiness. The entire month is a Rosh Chodesh. And just like we don't, and it's a beautiful thing, think about this, the word in the Torah says, HaChodesh hazeh lochem Rosh Chodashim. This month will be to you a month of Rosh Chodesh, where every day is a Rosh Chodesh. Also, this month has great power for great vision. It says that the Chozeh of Lublin, the visionary of Lublin, would write down what he perceived with the Ruach HaKodesh, with the divine inspiration, what would happen that year. On the first day of Nisan, he would say what's going to happen in the month of Nisan. The second day of Nisan, he would have a vision of what would happen in the month of Iyar, and so on. Each of the months would be revealed to him each of the 12 first days of the month of Nisan. It's interesting, it says that the Chozeh of Lublin, the year he died, he was only able to reveal what happened till the month of Av. Because he passed away in the month of Av, he wasn't able to see what was going to happen past that date. Also, Nissan is a name. Very interestingly, Nissan is one of the only 2 months whose names are given names. Nissan is a fairly common name for boys, and Aviv or Aviva is a fairly common male or female name given in modern Hebrew. The only other month that is given as a name is Sivan, which is a very common girl's name in Israel. Another fun fact is that Pesach is the only Jewish holiday that was also given a male name. Pesach is a name. My dear friends, this concludes our short and sweet edition of the Jewish Inspiration Podcast on the month of Nisan. Let's make this holy, holy, holy day of Nisan, this holy day of the first of Nisan, this holy month of Nisan, a day where we're worthy of the redemption, and Mashiach should come speedily in our days. Amen.
Amen.